Better get back to planning my trip. Bye, boys.
What? That's pretty messed up. Welcome to another School Principal Reacts. This is Brandon here coming to you with another reaction to Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide. This one is from Season 3. It's called Principals. And you all have been talking for quite a long time about looking forward to seeing the principal of Polk Middle School on this show. I have no idea who it is. I don't really know what to expect here. I can't wait to watch this one with you. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, take a minute and click the button below to become a subscriber. It helps me to continue to produce content like this. But let's go ahead and get into the episode. What?
What are you looking at?
I don't know what he's doing here at the beginning of this episode. He's got the face shield, which is kind of funny because since COVID, it seems like not all that abnormal of a thing. But during this era, it would be really, really strange for him to be wearing that. But let's keep going.
Nothing.
Crubbs,
Is this him?
are you bothering these boys?
No, Principal Pal. And one of them is a girl.
Of course she is, and she's so pretty.
What?
Bye, boys.
What in the world?
I'll be in my office.
Okay, well, that's a nice introduction. This guy's lost it and does not need to be principal here. I know that already. And I wasn't sure if Crubbs was just calling him by some nickname, but I guess that's his actual name here, Principal Irving Powell. That's really weird, but this guy, this guy has lost it. Let's see what happens next. What?
Tomorrow he retires, and then this school will be mine.
Ah, okay.
And things are going to be a lot different when I'm principal. If I get the job, and I will.
Okay, so this is pretty interesting. So he says that this guy is going to retire tomorrow. And he says, like, if I get the job. So this is kind of interesting. Because Crubbs is the vice principal here, it doesn't automatically mean that he will be the new principal if they're going to hire a new principal. It could be him, or it could be someone from another school or from outside the school district. That's very common. It just sort of depends on who all they get to come interview and what Crubbs' experience is like. This is pretty interesting here.
Oh, yes. I will.
That's so weird.
How bad could it be?
They're going to imagine it. Oh, man, look at this. You've got the flamingo, which I don't know why he likes that. He just does, I guess. Is it because of Miami or whatever? But he's got the billboard that says, "You're fired," like with flames and explosions and lightning bolts. This is what they imagine that it would be like with Crubbs in charge, but let's see what happens.
We cannot let Crubbs be principal.
Okay. Principals. What's he doing?
Now I just have to make sure no applicants get to their interviews today.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Is this his plan? So he's going to try and sabotage the other people that are coming in to interview from getting there, which is not a good plan at all. So let's say that someone walks up and they see all this and they just leave. They're going to call, or the school is going to call them and say, "Hey, did you have trouble finding the place? We haven't seen you yet." And they're going to tell on him. They're going to say, "Well, there was this person up front that was saying that they're closed or they're quarantined or whatever." And they're going to very quickly realize that Crubbs was responsible, and that may end up getting him fired. That's a potential firing right there. But let's keep going.
Job of principal will be mine. The plan is perfect. Except that I just said all of that out loud and in front of you three. Start scratching your heads now, or it's detention for a week. Now!
That's messed up.
Quarantine! Contagious lice break out! Run for your life!
What?
Nice scratch.
And, she wouldn't run away screaming like that, but there's going to be some phone calls, and the superintendent is going to find out that he did this, and then he may be fired. His best bet is just to go in there well prepared, cite his experience with the school. He's already there, but that does not guarantee him that position.
Now stay out of my woods, 'cause it's dark.
What? Okay, here we go.
Superintendent Brown. Hello.
No one has shown up for the principal interviews.
Tardiness, absence, not good job qualifications, but I'll be right on time for my interview.
Yes. Well, if someone does show up, send them to room 112.
Bet I will.
And he's going to call them, like I said, and say, why didn't you show up? And they're going to say, well, there was this crazy guy at the front. So not a good plan for Crubbs.
Woods, stay out. Dark.
If Crubbs is the only one who interviews, he'll get the job.
Crubbs is stopping outside people from interviewing, but what about people on the inside?
Okay.
Me and Cookie will find some great candidates. Mose, you find Gordy and convince Pal not to quit. If he doesn't quit, Crubbs can't.
Okay, so part of this little plan they're hatching is good and part of it is not. So Mose mentions inside candidates, which, yeah, you have those. Crubbs is one. But really, in order to be principal, you need experience as an administrator, and no one else on the staff of Polk Middle School has that. You just have teachers. And while it's theoretically possible to go from being a teacher to being a principal of a school, I have seen it happen, but it's extremely rare. You need previous experience as an administrator, an assistant principal, or vice principal. But they also say that they're going to try and get Pal not to quit. So I guess if he decides not to retire, then theoretically he would just remain the principal. But things like this don't happen instantly, right? So number one, if Principal Pal, which is a really weird name, retires the next day, they would have already done all this and had the principal that's ready to take over the next day when he retires, or even beforehand as part of the transition. But also he says that he is going to convince him not to quit somehow. If he decides the day before his retirement that he's not going to do that, he's going to have a hard time, because you don't just retire on a whim. There's a lot of paperwork and things that has to be completed, and it's not something that you can just switch back and forth instantly. It doesn't really work like that. What?
Oh.
He says, my door is always open. Come on in. And then the door's locked. That's pretty funny.
Fucked.
Well, hello, son.
I'm a girl.
Now, with that handshake, you're...
What?
Principal Pal, why are you retiring?
I'm old, I'm sick of this school. and I've
Sick of
always
this
dreamed
school.
of roller skating across Africa.
What?
But I think, down deep, you'll miss this school terribly if you leave.
No, I won't.
Oh, that's pretty harsh. That's pretty harsh. He says, I'm sick of this school, and when she tries to appeal to him, he says, oh, no, I won't. I won't miss this place. Oof, that's not good.
Well, I better get back to planning my trip. Bye, boys.
What? That's pretty messed up. He needs to leave today.
Remind him how great it is to be principal and how wonderful this school is. He won't want to leave.
Oof. Okay, so Mose is trying to get him to see how good it is, but look at this. You've got all the trash, and you've got Loomer bullying someone, and all sorts of other craziness going on here. What?
Yeah, that might be tough.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no.
Principals
I don't know
are
what he's
the
up to.
boss. They decide what lessons are taught, what school improvements are made, and make sure we all stay smart.
Okay, so he's starting in on the tips here, and he says the principal decides what lessons are taught. Kind of, sort of. I mean, the teachers decide that, or they plan their own lessons, but you do have to adhere to state standards and make sure your content is aligning to those, and that is part of the principal's role to make sure that is happening. So I guess indirectly, yes. He mentions deciding what school improvements are made. Yes, with others, providing input and helping with that. Yes, that's true. And then making sure we stay smart. If you mean making sure academic improvement happens, then yes, that's also true.
So be smart and get to know your principal. Because if you have problems in school, it's always good to be friends with the boss.
The
Friends.
only problem is we don't know who the new principal will be.
No. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Mr. Lowe or Dr. Lowe is probably the worst possible person they could go try to convince to somehow be the principal. And you don't just decide you're going to do that on the day of interviews, the day before the principal is retiring. That's not at all how it works.
Hello, the new principal.
Where's Crubbs? Why can't I see him?
We're talking about you.
No way. Crubbs made it clear. No one interviews or... You're fired!
But you're
What?
more qualified. Look at all those doctorate degrees. And if you're hired, you'll be the boss of Crubbs. You'll be...
Principal Lowe? Principal
Not a good idea.
L. P-Lowe! P-Lowe! Okay, fellas, I'm in.
Say, if you think you're running against me, you don't have what it takes. Or deodorant. Nice try, boys. But now I'm watching you. Check out this new one.
Shouldn't you be scaring away people from the front door?
Oh, I got it covered.
Oh no. Okay. Oh no. It's gonna shut, but oh no. And if he did this, that's also potential firing for Crubbs. He needs to just do well on his own interview and not trap people. This would be a pretty serious deal if he's trapped here somehow.
You know, son, I'm not sure if I ever really liked kids.
Well, we just wanted to show you how hard the students work and how great this school is with you as principal.
Okay. Oh man. This is so bad. And it kind of reminds me of the episode Study Hall. And I think that was what was written on this door here. And again, you don't have that partly for this reason. This is really, really, really crazy, but not a good look. And it's not going to do well to convince this principal to stay. Oh. What? Oh no.
There's gotta be someone in the school who isn't afraid to stand up to Crubbs.
Sweeney? I teacher?
Wait. We just want to talk.
I don't know who that is.
Right this way, Principal Pal.
To see your students at their happiest.
Is it dismissal already?
No lunch. Won't you miss all these?
Okay, and honestly, lunchtime is a great time to talk to students. That's a really good choice by them. And they told him, "Oh, I can't wait for you to see students at their happiest." And he's like, "Is it dismissal already?" That's pretty bad.
Happy, sweet faces.
Oof. Oh man. Yeah, that's not going to do well either to convince him to want to stay around. Not that he even really could if he's already made the decision to retire and filed all the various paperwork for that, and it's the next day, like this would be his last day. He can't just turn around and instantly change his mind. It doesn't quite work like that. What?
Curse you, Red Baron! I'll get us back to camp!
What?
Follow me, boys! Follow me!
I'm a girl!
Gentlemen!
Okay, there's Sweeney.
I heard about your quest. And let me say, I've always thought that I would make a great principal.
Whoa!
Oh, what's he doing?
He's just imagining what...
He's imagining what it would be like with Sweeney in charge, which I don't know how that would be either. Not a great choice.
school would be like with you as principal.
Right, Mr. Sweeney. Interviews are right this way.
Oh, he's going to trap him too?
Get the door!
Let me in!
This is war.
Oh no, he needs to go. He needs to
Looks
go.
like your plan is going about as good as ours.
What are we gonna do?
Okay, you guys go to class. I'll figure out a way to keep Pal in the school.
Oh no.
Roller skates, Gordon.
No problem.
Now to learn how to use these babies.
Oh, that's the easy part. Just keep the wheels on the floor and
Oh no. Okay, okay. If he gets hurt by this, that's a potential firing for Gordy. Oof, that's not good. Let's see what happens here.
You sure that's a good idea?
Positive.
No.
Pal's gonna break his neck on those things. Then he'll forget all about his little trip and stay right here.
Yeah, but if he breaks his neck, he'll be in the hospital, not in the principal's office.
Yeah, that's true also. But if he gets hurt in any way off this, Gordy's getting fired. I mean, there's no way around that. He tried to basically deliberately hurt him. Let's see what happens here.
Not one of your best plans.
Yeah, it's even worse when you realize we're on the second floor.
Uh-oh.
We've got to save Pal.
Save him? Hasn't he been gone for like 20 seconds already? I'm assuming he would have already crashed somewhere, but let's see.
Look out! Clear the
Oh
way.
no.
Oh!
Okay.
Clear! Incoming principal!
Not bad. Oh, now they're trapped. Oh, man. Well, I guess he wasn't hurt. I mean, I guess he didn't get hurt here.
I have trapped the enemy and will guard until the general arrives.
He needs to go.
We talked it over, and if we ever get out of here alive, none of us want the job.
Great.
Yeah, and honestly, I have had that experience. Not often, but I have, where you go somewhere on an interview and you're like, I don't think I want to do this. This was probably a mistake. And I understand this lady's perspective. They are literally trapped. Not only have they not interviewed, they're all trapped in this little back area. I'm not sure where they are, this little utility area of the school, and they can't get out. That's not good.
Not only have we handed the principal job to Crubbs, now we're prisoners of war.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anyone who can save us?
Hey guys, I was just dusting off my
Wright.
doctorate degree in education.
Okay.
I saw Principal Powell asleep in the hallway, and
Okay, so now they're going to try Mr. Wright, or I guess Dr. Wright here, to try and get him to be principal, and he wouldn't be such a bad choice, I guess.
What? It sounds intriguing, but my place here is as a teacher, and nothing's going to change my mind.
Don't listen to them, Wright. You're a teacher and not cut out to be principal.
Uh-oh.
Well, it's not.
Okay, so by doing this, Crubbs is going to make him want to be principal. This is pretty interesting. And I have heard people say that. I mean, the truth is that when you transition from a teaching role to an administrative role, you do sort of lose that. I mean, you still work with students, but it's not the exact same thing. You're not teaching anymore. So he is right about that, and that is an important thing to consider.
Not that. It's just don't want the job.
Because it's too demanding.
Ah.
I hate to see you humiliate yourself. Mr. Wright,
Crubbs, better
equals
stop.
principal wrong.
That's Dr. Wright.
All my negative prodding is actually motivating you, isn't it? Well,
What?
Too bad we'll never find out. The superintendent has one final interview today, and it's with my...
What?
Let's roll.
Oh. What's going
The
on?
enemy, and I'm bringing
This guy has some issues. He needs to be gone, like now. He's sort of almost dangerous here.
him back to base.
What? He's lost it.
Superintendent, I would like to interview for the principal's job.
Yeah, and that's not how it works either. If he hasn't applied for it, he can't just walk up on the interview day and say, I want to interview. It's not how it works. I've never really seen it work that way ever.
I'm sure you'll be very impressed with my qualifications.
Doctor.
Yeah, and that would be considered, but that is really just getting your foot in the door. It's not like, oh, I have a doctorate. As impressive as that is, it's not like, oh, you have a doctorate? Well, you're going to get the job. But you also need to be able to talk about your previous experiences and how your professional learning and training has prepared you for the position, what sort of administrative experience you already have, with which Mr. Wright doesn't really have any. Does that mean he can't possibly get this job? Not necessarily, but it's very rare. Let's see what happens here.
Harvard.
Oh, what the heck?
Okay. I've never heard that before, where someone just walks up and the superintendent just says that and they just decide to interview just on a whim. Not the way it happens in real life. Wow.
I am choosing the new principal next week, but I think my mind is made up.
Yes! Oh!
And besides, your only competition is Crubbs.
Yeah, and I remember in the April Fool's episode, I think it was, where they tricked Crubbs into believing that he won the lottery. He got himself into some trouble with this superintendent, and he's probably remembering that. I'm surprised they even allowed him to interview or put him on the interview list. But okay, it seems like Mr. Wright may or may not get this position.
Severely hurt his chances by missing his interview.
He's trapped.
Let me out! I have an interview.
Oh no, what in the world?
Eyes front, soldier.
All right, so that's the episode. That was a pretty good one. I enjoyed that one as well as the previous one. I really am happy to see Season 3 coming along. I wasn't sure really what to expect, but it's going really well so far, and I'm not sure. They kind of left us hanging whether or not he actually selected Mr. Wright as the new principal. I think he would be a really good choice. It is super rare to go straight from a teaching role to a principal position. It's much more common to have various other leadership positions until at a later point you become a principal, but it's possible theoretically, and I think of all the choices that they do have, he would probably be the best one. Just a reminder to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. It helps me to be able to produce this content week after week, and I encourage you to do so, especially if you watch these videos anyway. You may as well be subscribed so that you never miss any of my future content. Thanks for watching to the end of the video. I'm going to end it here, and I hope you join me on the next video here on School Principal Reacts. Thanks for watching.